Central Committee member, former General Secretary and former Chief of Staff Louis Bloc has been nominated and successfully confirmed for a second consecutive term as Premier of the Central Committee. After a highly contested election cycle, the non-binding referendum on the regional party system has ended, with the current single-party campaign claiming victory by a slight margin. General Secretary of the Workers' Party Pytor Petrovsky has issued Executive Order No. 6, a revival of the Executive Order No. 4, creation of the Workers' Party Civil Service. The European Republican Navy invaded Eurasian Socialist League, a leftist region with an in-game embassy with the Communist Bloc. The European Navy has already retreated from the region. Two successful military operations headed by General Trabadi of the People's Revolutionary Armed Forces has taken several reactionary and hateful regions. The non-profit organization Independent Bloc-wide Cartography Agency has launched its new cartography and statistical website. After the election cycle of February for the Central Committee, the former General Secretary and Chief of Staff, Central Committee member and Premier-designate Louis Bloc has been once again nominated by the General Secretary Pytor Petrovsky for the office of the Premier. The Central Committee unanimously voted in favor of the confirmation, and as per usual legislative tradition, Premier Louis Bloc abstained from the vote, receiving 6 ayes on the process. The Central Committee already passed a partial repeal of the Holiday Amendment, and there have been proposals such as the Government Transparency Act and the RMB Information Act, becoming one of the most productive Central Committees in regional history. After a swift motion for a non-binding referendum on the current party system by the 7th Central Committee and the government execution of the referendum, the current campaign won by a slight margin of the electorate. The current campaign on single-party system won the electorate by 25 votes of 51.8% versus the 23 votes of 48.2% for the no-party system campaign, making this referendum one of the most contested and with the highest turnout in electoral history. The General Secretary congratulated the people for making their voices heard and promised the successfully passed Party Procedures Amendment, which repealed Seniism and Piperism from party lines. The General Secretary has released Executive Order No. 6, a revival of the highly controversial Executive Order No. 4, creation of the Workers' Party Civil Service, an institution to provide assistance to the executive ministries regarding volunteering management. Order No. 4 was swiftly repealed after the administration did not give in to the demands that the 7th Central Committee had given without any prior negotiations with the administration. It will not get a majority approval within the Central Committee. We'll come back in a few moments after a few messages. European Republican Navy has invaded Eurasian Socialist League, a leftist region with 48 residents that has an in-game embassy with the Communist Bloc. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs promptly sent an inquiry regarding the invasion to the European government. After receiving a response, General Secretary Pytor Petrovsky spoke with Vice President Brunhilde regarding the incident, in which the Vice President reaffirmed that European foreign policy does not target leftist regions. There were also talks about foreign policy and the Communist Bloc future participation in a coalition against the ideology of Nazism. The European Navy has already retreated from the region. The brave men and women of the People's Revolutionary Armed Forces has once again claimed victory over reactionary and hateful regions. Even after defenders came into battle, Operation Anarchy was successful at taking the region in Pambay by 3 brave soldiers. Operation Fully Automated Luxury Gay Space Communism took the 2 reactionary stronghold regions of the Empire of Mankind and the command base, led by General Tabari, as 3 comrades were given promotions within the ranks of our victorious military forces. We, the people of the Communist Bloc, salute with respect to all of our comrades that are willing to give their lives for our region, our people, and communism. The non-profit organization Independent Bloc, a cartography agency, has launched its new website to the public as a way to make its regional map, statistics, and national barriers more accessible to every resident of the Communist Bloc. As one of the most innovative, prestigious, and dedicated independent cartography agencies in nation-states, the agency moved the majority of its operations to the website. If you wish to apply for a spot on a regional map, be sure to have a nation inside the Communist Bloc. Go to map.bloc.red and follow the instructions presented. Thank you for watching. Please stick with us after these messages. You may have already noticed, but the Communist Bloc News Agency have received a fresh new branding and image, a result of weeks of hard work and dedicated production. As we strive for constant innovation, creativity, and impartiality, we have revamped of the Communist Bloc social media outlets such as the Twitter page, YouTube channel, and all media and foreign releases such as the future foreign updates. We will continue expanding into other regional media outlets and realms as we endeavor to provide the highest quality, the best regional broadcasts, and the most prestigious news articles in nation-states. And there is much more to come. Residents of our glorious region, the Communist Bloc, have received an unusually high amount of recruitment telegrams being targeted to our region. The administration and the General Secretary have released a press statement regarding these telegrams, in which he states that he will not tolerate such illegal actions against the citizens of the Communist Bloc, and has stated that he will take diplomatic and, if necessary, military measures to countermeasure the illegal recruitment telegrams being targeted to our region. If you have received a recruitment telegram being targeted to a victorious region, do not hesitate to report this to the Ministry of Domestic Affairs or the Petrovsky administration. As the General Secretary election cycle comes up by next week, the Petrovsky administration is working on a legislative bill that will set the immigration standards for future governments that will either enforce or relax certain immigration protocols and standards. The bill is reportedly including harsher background checks to prevent sleeper accounts from gaining immediate voting rights as a measure to prevent voter fraud and undercover agents from gaining citizenship to influence our regional and domestic affairs. The Petrovsky administration has not commented nor released any information regarding the initiative, but we will wait to report the government bill as we get new information. We'll come back after some messages. have breaking news. The motion to repeal Executive Order number 6 has been defeated by a simple majority of 4 nays versus 3 ayes, effectively upholding the order. The Petrovsky administration has begun centralizing recruitment threats. The co-minister of culture has also resigned as a way to protest the executive order. Operation Fully Automated Luxury Gay-Space Communism took the 2 reactionary and hateful stronghold regions of the Empire of Mankind and a command base. Led by General of the People's Revolutionary Armed Forces Trovadia, 3 comrades were given promotions within the ranks of our victorious military forces. The first foreign update in 9 months has been finally released using a groundbreaking and innovative distribution system. The foreign update format is no longer based on foreign posts, but on a full-fledged website that anyone can access to get the latest news of the Communist Bloc. Dr.Red/update. As 2 seats of the Supreme People's Tribunal previously held by former Central Committee members were vacant, the Central Committee nominated and confirmed 2 members to hold office in the highest tribunal of our region. Chief of Staff Thomas Callaway and Minister of Foreign Affairs Cameron Rumfeller were swiftly selected and confirmed by the legislative body. The Ministry of Information has released a closure notice for inactive private media outlets that gave their owners 48 hours to either reactivate or archive their media outlets and resign their media permits. More than a dozen private media outlets have been archived and are currently on a 60-day grace period before being fully archived. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has shown much activity in past few weeks, and there have been reports that the ministry is already planning an inter-regional event that will include leftist regions and common allies. The Petrovsky administration is already preparing for the implementation for the Cultural Visa Act for the coming inter-regional events. An organizer of the No Party System campaign and Central Committee member George Milner has started a lawsuit against the Single Party System campaign because the administration mistakenly tweeted a poster promoting single party values. General Secretary Pytor Petrovsky apologized and promptly removed the post, even apologizing to the Central Committee member. We thank you for watching and supporting us during this broadcast of the Communist Bloc TV. I am Pytor Petrovsky, and this has been the Communist Bloc News at 8. Long live the party, long live the people, and long live the Bloc.
TCB Central TV, bringing the revolution to your home.